Hi guys, how are you? I miss you so much. Today we are going to take a new chapter in our story. It's the story time. Okay, but before we read, I want to ask you some questions. Let's remember together what happened. Tell me, how many boys were there in our story? Excellent, two boys. Where were they born? Super, in London. What were their names? Excellent. Tom and Edward. Do they look like each other? Yes, they look like each other. They have the same face, same eyes, same nose, same hair, same mouth. So they look like each other. Now, what was Tom's dream? Excellent. He dreamt to be a prince. Now, tell me, how about Prince Edward? Can you describe Prince Edward? Of course, Prince Edward was very kind and rich. Was Tom's father bad or good? Super, he was a bad guy. Why? Excellent, because he hit Tom and he steal things from people. Okay, tell me, was Tom's mother a queen? Super. Of course, no, she was a beggar. Now, do you remember when Tom was walking in the country? What did he find? Excellent. He found huge buildings with huge gates. What was the color of the gate? Excellent. Gold. What was that building? Super. The palace. Now, what did the guards of the palace do? Excellent. They grabbed Tom and shouted at him. What did Prince Edward do? Super. He shouted at the guards and let Tom enter the palace. Now, guys, where is Prince Edward and Tom? Where are they? Sorry. Excellent. They are in the palace. Now, guys, I want you to open your storybooks, page 12. Chapter 3. What's the title of our chapter? A Big Mistake. What's the title? A Big Mistake. Okay, before we read, I want you to go to page 13 and look at the picture. What can you see? Super! Prince Edward and Tom are standing in front of the mirror. What are they doing? What do you think? Maybe, maybe they are going to exchange their clothes together. We will see. Now tell me, what else can you see in the picture? Food. Super. Chicken. Excellent. Plates. Excellent. Knives. Chairs. And table. Okay, can you tell me where are they? Excellent. They are in the palace. They are in the palace. From where did you know? Of course, because it's a very rich place and have a lot of food. But Tom's house was a wooden house and it was very small. Now guys, let's start to read and see the story. A big mistake. Raise your finger, put it down, and point at the first word. The prince gave Tom some food to eat. He asked Tom many questions about his life. Tom told him about his family and the many games he played with his friends. We play at sword fighting a lot. In the summer, we swim in the river. Tom told the prince, we dance and sing too. Okay, guys, what's the meaning of sword fighting? What's the meaning of sword fighting? Huh? Can you guess? Super. The sword is a very big and long, sharp knife. It looks like the knife. So it's a weapon. Do you know what's the meaning of a weapon? Yes, excellent. It's a thing that you can use to fight or defend yourself. I want you to go to page 42 in the word list and see the picture of the sword. Let me check that I have it here. Oh, actually, I don't have it here on the board. Open your books, page 42, and look at the picture of the sword. Okay. So Tom and his friends used to play at sword fighting together. The prince had a lonely life. He thought Tom's life sounded fun. Tom was very surprised. I would give anything to be dressed in your fine cloth, he said. I want to be like you. So, what did Tom want? Excellent. He wanted to be a prince like Edward. Let's see what happened. Then let's change clothes, said the prince. So they did. Tom and Edward looked in the mirror. Tom looked like the prince. Edward looked like the pauper. They were surprised. The two boys had the same hair, lips, nose, and eyes. So guys, what did they do? What was the mistake that they did? Excellent. They exchanged their clothes together. So now Tom is wearing the cloth of Prince Edward, and Prince Edward is wearing the cloth of Tom. We have the same face, said Edward. You're right, said Tom. We have the same voice, said Edward. We do, said Tom. The prince saw that Tom's hand was hurt. What? Who did that? He asked. The guard outside, said Tom. The prince was angry. He ran outside wearing Tom's dirty cloth. He shouted at the guard. The guard thought he was Tom and pushed him out of the gate. You made trouble for me, boy. Now get away. But I am Prince Edward, said Edward. Everyone laughed. They did not believe him. You are making a big mistake, shouted Edward. No one listened. So now, guys, Prince Edward was dressed in Tom's cloth, and he went outside to shout at the guard because the guard hurt Tom's hand, right? So the guard thought that this is Tom, not the prince. So the guard shouted at Prince Edward and he pushed him outside the palace. Now, I want you to read the chapter again after you listen to the lesson. Then, open your story booklets page. I'm sorry, I don't have the number of the page. Page 14. A big mistake. Let's read what happened. Prince Edward and Tom discovered that they looked like each other. They decided to change clothes and live each other's life. Prince Edward ran outside and shouted at the guard while he was wearing Tom's clothes. The guard thought that he was Tom, and he pushed him out of the gate. Now, guys, I want you to draw Edward and Tom standing in front of the mirror here in this square. Now, complete with words from the box. You have pushed, lonely, sword, surprised, fun, cloth. Now, the prince had a what life? Super lonely life. So cross the word lonely and write it. Just a minute. Okay. Let me fix the board. Something wrong is happening here, guys. Okay. Wait, guys. Okay, now what are you going to do? You're going to cross the word lonely and write it here. Number 2. He thought Tom's life sounded excellent, fun. Number 3. Tom and Edward changed super, cloth. Tom and his friends played at excellent sword fighting. Number 4, when Edward and Tom looked in the mirror, they were super surprised. The guard walked Tom out of the gate. Excellent. Now, let's go to the next exercise. Put right or wrong. The guard believed the prince. No. The prince had a funny life. No, he had a lonely life. Edward and Tom looked like each other. Correct. The prince saw that Edward's hands were hurt. Of course, no. Tom's hand, not Edward's hand. Tom told Edward about his family and many games that they played. Correct. Let's go to the next page. Now, match. We have the prince, everyone, Edward, the guard, the 2 boys. Number 1, the prince had the same face, or saw that Tom's hands were hurt, or had a lonely life, or didn't believe Edward, or pushed Edward out of the gate. Excellent, had a lonely life. Number 2, everyone. Okay, didn't believe Edward. Edward super saw that Tom's hands were hurt. The guard super pushed Edward out of the gate. The 2 boys had the same face. Super. Now, let's go to the next question. Choose the correct answer. This is for your homework. I'm going to read the questions for you, and then you're going to do the homework and check your answers on the e-school. Choose the correct answer. The prince had a happy, lonely, or scary life. Number 2, Tom and Edward changed their food or cloth or toys. Number 3, Tom's leg or face or hand were hurt. Then put right or wrong. The prince and Tom didn't have the same face. Number 2, the guard pushed Edward out of the gate. Number 3, Edward gave Tom some food to eat. Who said that? Then let's change clothes. Number 2, I would give anything to be dressed in your fine clothes. Number 3, we have the same face. Okay, now guys, we have finished our chapter. I wish you enjoyed it. Thank you and wait for the next chapter.